All right, all right, all right. Welcome to another Ashes of Creation live stream update. I've skipped ahead a little bit here so that I can blabber on for a moment, if you will. Indulge me, kind sirs and madams and sirs. Um, I have watched this one time. Technically, I was in Calculus 2 class and then driving home during it. So it did not have my full attention that it did deserve. So I just want to give that caveat that this isn't a complete first reaction, but it's going to be the first time that I can sit down and actually pay attention to it. So with that said, let's get into it. What I will do, just so you know the format ahead of time, is pause when I want to interject so that I'm not talking over Stephen and the lovely Margaret. All right, with that, let's skip back to the beginning. I know they had some sound troubles, but whatever, that's live streaming. Here we go.
Hello, everyone, and
Hello.
welcome to our February development update for Ashes of Creation. We hope that you've been having a wonderful month. We know we have been having a busy one.
Yes.
There has been a lot going on for us internally. As you all know, this year we're going into Alpha 2, so it's kind of a big, exciting thing
I need in Alpha 2. Margaret's aware. I don't know if Steven's aware, but I have bothered Margaret.
for us. And that means a lot of things are in the
And thank
works.
goodness we had an extra
Good
day
God.
this month. Oh, whoops.
You are peeking.
Boom.
I am peeking.
You're
I'm peeking. Peekaboo.
Peekaboo.
You're just a
Pikachu?
Okay.
I was just saying, thank goodness we have an extra day this month, and we're doing our live stream on is today's leap day, right?
It was
Is it
leap day.
I think it is leap day.
Potentially.
I don't know.
Because it's the 29th of the month. It doesn't, I
Right.
don't remember. It always changes, right?
I know. Every 4 years.
Hopefully
Oh,
that's better.
yes.
Let me know,
Thursday the
y'all.
29th is leap day. The next leap year will be 2028.
Can't
I don't know
wait.
how I'm going to be able to adjust.
Can we just do a 13-month calendar with a bonus day?
Sorry. It's kind of how the stuff's coming in.
Ask me later.
I will do what I can. Apologies. I'll talk loudly. I don't know why you're coming through super loud.
I feel for them because like my sound got so jacked up on my stream for a while, but here you go.
It happened last
It
week,
happens.
too. And I even went through
Only
the
when you go
original
live.
audio before we went live, and it still did it. So
Well, that's weird.
I'm not sure what's going on between the last couple streams.
Well, we can try to adjust that.
Yes, I will try to adjust it as we're going through.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, please bear with me. I will try to talk loudly and get through it as best I can for you all. But today we have quite a run of show for you. As you can see below, we have our reminders. We're going to be doing a commissions preview. Commissions are a little quite different than probably what you've seen before in regards to how they are incorporated into our world and change the world.
I really had no idea what they were talking about when they titled this thing. I'm not going to lie.
Change the world around you as you're exploring. And then we also have our studio update, art update, and then we'll do a Q&A as per usual. But before we get into all of that, we have our subscriber comment spotlight. And of course,
and this time I am doing the full live update, as you can see, instead of just the juicy part.
And you too can also be spotlighted. Remember that if you are subscribed to us, make sure that you have that post public, and then also allow us to see that you are a subscriber, and leave a comment on the development update live stream for February, the one that you're watching right now. But this one is from Ad Astra,
a Kansas person. Hell yeah.
All right, and they're asking, hello, Intrepid team. My question is about the enemy's field of vision. In the open world, how far away from hostile targets will they be before they act aggressively towards us? More specifically, will creatures watch us murder their friends in the open world with no reaction? Will they try to kill us in retaliation, or will they run away in sheer terror? Thank you.
That's a great question, besides the fact that you're from Kansas and representing, which is flipping awesome. That's a great question because there's so many games where you just like pick these guys off one at a time and they're just watching you murder their kin. No big deal. One at a time, there they go. And it's just like this weird thing that it doesn't reflect any like good gameplay. So hopefully let's see what they say.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
I'll leave
that's
it to
that
Steven.
that is a great question. Obviously, as MMO gamers, we're accustomed to the concept of like social aggro. When I hit a target out in the field, they're going to aggro other creatures nearby. We have similar functionality, obviously. However, we also, have this concept of a more puzzle-oriented, level design,
Puzzle.
right? Where you have different patrollers that might be moving around the world. So that
Okay.
dynamic is always changing. The creatures that are near each other might be something that you need to be cognizant of as you begin to navigate those areas. And there might
And are those follow-up question for Steven at some point? Are those patrol routes randomized or are they super predictable? I'm guessing they went randomized. I hope. If you remember the caravan update, they came across the Cyclops. I can't remember his name because, why would my mind work? But they came across him. And I think, obviously they kind of staged that at that time. But I'm hoping that the patrols are sort of randomized and not too predictable.
even be certain faction types, right? Where you may have dedicated aggro social tags between certain creature types. And that might be like goblins with their goblin dogs, right? They could be far away, but they send off an alert to those nearby enemies when you aggro another target.
Mm.
And then you also have these perception radiuses, right? And there's a number of different perception radius types that we incorporate as part of our AI. Those things might be a forward-looking perception cone that represents kind of sight-based perception. And then you might also have a rear perception radius that might represent kind of sound. And those perception types might even interact with unique stats. So as a rogue, you might have a stealth ability, or as a ranger, you might have camouflage ability. Those are going to dampen those
Oh,
stats
there we
once they're
go.
checked by those
Here's those
perception
sound issues.
radiuses. And then you might even have, different creature types that fly above the battlefield or beneath the battlefield. And they may have downward cone type angles. The whole idea is that navigating the world should be like a puzzle, right? And as you
This
move
is where the
around,
chat was flipping out because the audio went low.
I'm adjusting things while you're talking,
oh,
so
okay.
that's probably why people are freaking out. So.
I
I
was just
just
sitting in
see
calc class like, is it
the
me?
chat going crazy. But anyways, as you interact with the world, you're going to be unraveling that puzzle, and each of the zones that you move into are going to be different. And that is the important part of world design, right? And encounter design. So it's something we want to make sure is compelling.
All right. Yeah, I am really not sure what's going on with the audio, so I apologize in advance. I'm working through it, but hopefully you guys can still hear. You'll just have to turn it up a little bit for now while I'm adjusting it. Apologies. But I
And
also just
and
want to go
I
ahead.
can keep riffing, by the way, if you want me to. If you want to keep playing, that's totally fine with me. I have
Yeah,
no
if you'd
problem.
like to
Yeah,
talk a little
sure.
bit further.
He's
Sure.
like,
Let
Margaret
me talk.
can't
Let me
stop
talk a
me.
little bit more about our AI and what we've incorporated for perception. Obviously, when we talk about enemy factions, it's not just
Yeah, I
how they
think I got you,
interact.
but I just have no idea why my mic is very quiet.
Okay, got
So
it.
I think that will just be, I will just be quieter. And I
There
am
you go.
uncertain as to how I can fix that right
It's
now.
okay. You can talk through me. You just tell me just tell me the topic you want to talk, because I can hear you great. You just tell me the thing you want to talk
Yeah, that's
about,
why
and
I'm confused. I don't know
I'll
why it's coming
translate.
through that way for them. But I think they can still hear me. It's just, it sounds
Okay,
weird. But
got it.
anyways, I want to move on to the next thing just so we can keep things moving
Yes.
along. But thank you for that YouTube comment. We appreciate it. That's a good one. It's an easy one. We already know the plan that we have in regards to AI and whatnot. The next thing is dev discussion about esports, and we know that this was a hot topic for folks.
Yeah, I didn't get
and we're
involved in
actually
this
very
one.
curious about it. So the question here was, What are your thoughts on esports and player-run competitive events in the
Mm.
MMORPG genre? What type of competitive spectator-friendly content do you think would be fitting for Ashes of Creation? Are there any tools you'd like that would make competitive events easier for players to run? And again, I think that this made people think we were thinking about esports, but it's more of, hey, if players take things off and want to do esports oriented things, we want to support community. Wherever the community goes and what you guys want to do, we want to support that. And Ashes of Creation is planned to be a competitive game.
Hmm.
And so we just want to make sure that you all have the tools that you need in order to do the cool things that you want to do. And obviously, we'll have some in game run events, but we also know that players run their own events. Even during Alpha 1, there a group of people came over to a bridge and they were creating like a 1v1 battle, and we loved seeing that. Don't think it didn't go missed. We saw what you guys were doing and we really thought it was cool. So we just want to make sure you guys also have the tools that you need.
Yeah, just to comment on this real quick, esports, because
Yeah, go for it.
as an MMO player, right? I really like what esports represent, right? Which is this idea of kind of team-based performance and competition. What I would say as an MMO player is, esports tends to miss out on a core element that's unique to MMORPGs, which is progression, right? And it's difficult to represent that progression in the traditional esports format that we see with other game and
Hmm.
genres today. Um, However, what I will say is that I have participated in some MMOs that have stood up kind of cross server competitions. And I've really personally enjoyed
That
those
might be
types of
cool.
cross
Might be
server
cool.
competitions where you bring the best that those individual servers have to offer with regards to groups or teams or constant parties, as we like to call them, and you allow them to compete in an arena format, right, or in a castle siege format. Like, that is super cool. I love that server versus server type of competition. And I think that's where there is a potential to do something interesting with regards to esports and um, the MMORPG genre. So it was really cool to see players kind of opine on that. There's a lot of obviously similar thoughts, but as you said, it's a highly charged discussion.
Yeah, it's a spicy one primarily because everyone sees it in a different
Why
way.
is it so
And
spicy? I have
obviously,
to go read
esports has
this.
become such a big thing in different spaces. And that doesn't mean that we're gonna go buy a stadium and start doing that kind of thing right at launch.
Right.
But it's more of just being conscious of what the community wants. And if the community is like, hey, no, we don't like that, it gives us a good perspective on like where to spend our time when we're developing things.
Yep.
And with that, we are ready to talk about commissions. Do you want to do the
Ooh.
preview
Let's
before?
do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to.
It's nice to be able to
So
actually
let me
pay attention this
give you
time.
guys a little bit of a preface here. Obviously, I'm going to be a broken record as I usually am. Things are still a work in progress. Please keep that in mind as you are watching this video. And we are also going to launch this video
Yeah,
at the
Reddit.
same time on YouTube that we show it here on Twitch. So for those of you who want to see it in the 4K glory, the only agreement we're going to make with you is that you don't leave Twitch. You stay here, give your commentary. We want to see what you think about it. So chat in the Twitch channel while you're watching on YouTube. And I want you to think about this when you're watching the showcase. Commissions are a very traditional format when it comes to questing, right? Questing in MMORPGs, we're not trying to recreate the wheel, so to speak, in what that questing feels like. However, with that being said, how the questing affects the world is really the bread and butter of where commissions are essentially the start of that daisy chain of events.
All right.
These are very small, easily digestible, quick grab and run kind of activities that you get to do in the world, and you're going to see that. But they have consequences and they influence the world based on the number of players that are adopting those quests, those commissions, and are going out, and how they complete them is what's going to influence the next step. It is a domino type effect that creates activity, which then causes events, which then causes story arcs, which then mold and shape the way the world around you exists, both from population perspective, as well as even the types of dungeons that you can enter, their layout, a lot of different things are unique in that regard. And remember, like the core tenet, the central pillar that Ashes is setting itself apart from other MMOs is that it is a dynamic world, and that world is always in flux. So the types of commissions that might be available to you are going to change on a moment-to-moment basis, and that is the aspect of our content, our content drip that is unique. So keeping in mind things are a work in progress, especially when it comes to UI and visual effects and the gameplay. Those are things we are still working on towards our Alpha 2. This is all Alpha, so keep that in mind, and hopefully you guys enjoy, and we'll see you in just a second.
Yeah, we'll see you in a minute.
Oh, wow. She's
Now I
blasting.
There, I think we're even now. And we will see you in about 30 minutes.
What's up, Ilpion? Right, here we go. Here we go.
Hello everyone, and welcome to yet another stream
Welcome.
in Vera, and we have an exciting stream for you today. We are going to be talking about one of the most core experiences that all of us come to expect from the MMOs that we play, and that is questing. But Ashes does questing a little bit differently than your average MMO, and today, to help me talk about that, I have three of our absolute glorious developers. Two of our senior designers on the narrative side, Scott, Tony. How are you guys doing?
Scott, Tony.
Doing great. I'm awesome.
I am awesome. Everything is awesome. Yes,
Everything is
absolutely. You are awesome, and your guys' team have been doing an awesome job.
Got
at
it. I wish I could
creating
be inside
compelling
the studio
stories,
and
I'm
see what they're
excited to
doing.
kind of go through these today with the community and give them some insight into what they can expect with their normal day in Ashes of Creation. And of course, one of the gentlemen behind the magic, our glorious engineer, Tyler, is joining us as well. Tyler, how are you doing,
Magic
buddy?
Man.
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Excited to have you too. So, we are starting out in a familiar space, obviously. This
It's
is
gorgeous,
the
man.
node of Miraleth. We have been here before. We have turned in some
Okay, yeah,
glorious
Miraleth is where they went
caravans
to.
within this
Okay.
node.
Yeah.
And
With their ill-gotten goods.
some of you might be thinking to yourself, well, outside of caravans, outside of these grand kind of core architectural systems like citizenship and housing and story arcs and all of those types of systems, what is the normal day-to-day questing like in Ashes of Creation? And we're going to look at this from a solo player perspective.
So this
Later
was
on,
the
we
first
might
point
have
that I
some
realized
aid
that commissions meant questing.
assistance,
Yes, I'm not
in
dumb.
completing perhaps some of the group-based stuff, but it all begins in a node, and it begins specifically at this location. What am I looking at here, Scott?
So this is a commission board. Every node has many different commission boards depending on what.
So I think didn't they have something like this in New World and some other games. That's cool, whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and say it. The gaming card look on those, I like it. I like it a lot.
Service buildings are installed there. And commissions are basically these teeny tiny little single objective quests that are sort of like appetizers or quick little digestible things to help you get out into the world and start progressing both your character and your node contribution.
Okay, cool. And I see that these commissions, obviously there's 8 of them that I can see here. That says that it refreshes in the next...
What's cool is you didn't have to go see, 8 different people to find out if you wanted to mess with that or not. Like, I like that. And I think they're going to talk about the random nature of all this too.
roughly 30 minutes, although the clock is not moving for some reason. Let's see if that... Oh, it is moving. We're just not seeing a live update. So that's a bug. Guys, I do want to take this moment
It happens.
to
It
obviously
happens.
give our standard disclaimer. Everything you see
This
here
almost
is
never
a work in
happens.
progress. Obviously, we are working towards our Alpha 2, which is an alpha of Ashes of Creation. We're here in the Riverlands. You're going to see UI, you're going to see VFX, you're going to see systems like this that are still in a very functional state. But we are looking at a very pretty board here, and these kind of remind me about little bit about cards almost.
Hell
feel
yeah,
like
they do.
cards,
I
kind
love
of.
it. Love it.
And there's some standardized information on here. I see level, I see some reward, I see some basic information about the story of these commissions.
And I think if you look back, I said that like on these abilities they have down here on your little hot bars, I would rather see a wheel of like cards, obviously not with text, but with the symbols and kind of, a graphic description of what that ability is. Maybe with like 2 key stats, damage, cooldown, whatever, that you like scroll through with middle mouse to select instead of this hot bar thing. So just my opinion. I'm going to keep going on about it.
And I also see some colors. Talk to me a little bit about the colors.
Sure. So commissions, they come in basically different rarities, the same way that collectible cards might. So it's pretty
Nice.
astute there.
Nice.
The rewards
He wasn't
basically
in on the
grow
meeting. Yeah.
quite a lot depending on the rarity of the commission that gets dealt, and these get dealt for everybody like on this board. So in this node, right? So and you can improve your chances of getting rare
Nice.
commissions for your node depending on how you develop your node.
Okay, very cool. Absolutely. The Oakenbane Overlook, I just took that. I see that it's been added to my objective tracker, and
Okay.
Minotaur sounds pretty interesting. So I'm going to grab those, and I should be able to now see them obviously in my journal. This gives me under Miraleth kind of my active
Standard
commissions
journal.
that are here within this node, and I can take a look at the map. I
Ooh, I
assume
like the
here
map.
and go around and take
I think
a
this
look.
is more of the actual
the
map than we've
objectives.
seen.
So we
This
have
is pretty
the
cool.
Scatter
So
the
we've seen the
Horde.
mini map.
That's here.
That's
and
pretty
Oakenbane
cool.
Overlook here, which is good because I think we have some business perhaps in the Oakenbane area. We showed
no.
it off before, but it has some updated interesting things going on there. Okay, so let's grab these two and let's head out. Now obviously you were saying these are kind of bite-sized, digestible, easily let me
Little
grab and
itty-bitty
go,
quests.
show some progress in the world. But commissions are more than just bite-sized pieces of content.
That's right.
They also feed other content systems too, right? Talk to me a little bit about how that works.
Oh.
Yeah, Tyler, you can take this one.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll take it.
Shoot,
So,
Tyler.
right, every 30 minutes or so, the board will refresh. The server will query a bunch of different information about the world.
Okay.
And this is ranging from story arcs that are active, story arcs that have been completed, weather, time of day, a whole bunch of different range of factors.
Very cool. And then,
And it will-
oh, go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
The board will attempt to deliver commissions that are relevant to these areas, and they will try to lead you into areas where more content can be found, kind of like a cascading effect of commissions and
A little
and
nudge, if you
events
will.
and just general things to do.
Okay, speaking
Yeah.
of events, I see I just had a pop-up here. A pale hornless minotaur is idling nearby and beckons me. Interesting.
I like that
So
map.
that is
crisp.
a call out for one of our side quests, which are
I had complained about this mini map before because I know it's got to be kind of, the opacity setting on it, but I like this. I hope they show us a lot more.
they're like commissions, but better. Tony, do you want to talk about those a little bit?
Yeah, side quests are like commissions. You know what you're getting with them. You go
Look
to
at
a
that
commission
buck.
board and
Oh,
pick
yeah.
out your cards, what you want. But side quests, these are a variety of quests with a variety of objectives that exist in the actual world.
Look at this big guy.
itself. So
Woo!
they can be hidden in
Not one, but
various
two
ways,
giant axes
and
that'll just
so
smush you into
during your
minces,
adventures.
little
You want to pay
mincemeats.
attention around you because one might pop up on your map, and if you're lucky, you might notice it and be able to obtain it.
These
And it
deer
might
seem a
lead
little
into
calm
a
around
really
him.
Big quest chain,
Cool.
or in the very least, connect to a larger story.
Awesome. And I'm looking at one of these guys here. His name is Many Exiled Berserker. Now, we've seen Minotaurs in the past, but Minotaurs actually are a minor faction in Ashes, and there are different tribes of Minotaur and different kind of species influence for the Minotaurs. This guy apparently is friendly, so I could talk with him. Okay, cool. Look at this guy. He's got a little profile going
He's
on.
a friendly minotaur with
Watch
the double
yourself,
blades.
godling. My kith work nearby, and they shall brook no intrusion.
Oh,
You save yourself some money on voice acting. That's perfect.
I
Steven.
love
Yeah.
it. I said I love it. It is so cool.
You can handle it.
No, the writing is impeccable. It's impeccable. Okay, let's talk to him. Why is he standing here?
I
Okay,
told
so
my
he's
brother
trying
he
to
need to
deliver some
write for these
poultice to
guys.
his brother, but he's forbidden to see him. Okay, let's see if I can take it over there. He's too weak to fight. That's a rude thing to say about your brother.
Knows his limitations, you know.
Okay, so I've received a Minotaur poultice, and I see here I have some rewards just to deliver this. That includes some dull glint, some experience, and some cheap coin.
Cheapy coins.
Yep. So side quests can give a variety of rewards. They're bespoke for the side quest itself. So as you progress this chain of side quests here, you can unlock things that are specific toward Minotaurs, whether it's like their rare sort of crafting reagents, recipes for their stuff. All kinds of different things can pop up, and just like any of our spawning systems, like what Tyler was getting at with the commission board, they all are reading world states to determine what is allowed to spawn and where it should spawn and things like that. So different side quests can appear depending on the world state as well.
You have a real
Okay, very
impact
cool.
on this world.
All right, I see here I have this guy named Maho,
What's up, Maho?
Yes, that is who you should be delivering your poultice to.
and also
Is this
they
the
have
weak
an
brother?
available quest for me as well. I have brought a poultice from your brother. Let's see here. Yes, I'll accept that reward. Very nice. Oh, look at him. He's kind of they're stretching. Let's see if he's got
Got a nice
something
little
else for me.
headdress
So this
going
kind
on
of
there,
leads us
buddy.
down the daisy chain like Tony was talking about of, different connective tissues of story throughout the world relate either to the commission, the events, or story arcs in general.
Exactly. And especially like missions and side quests, like those, in completing those, you're going to be participating in activity maps, which you've laid all around here. And those can spawn events, those can make a number of things happen, which then will in turn influence, further spawns that can happen and things like that.
Okay, cool. And I also see, this is obviously thematic, right? It relates to kind of our progression of itemization. I see this person has a recipe for Stormcaller's axe. He is also talking about an event that relates to some type of, it looks like storm beneath the stone shadows, perhaps?
Correct.
Oh.
So that event is not
Spicy.
currently happening, but you can provoke that event basically by working on your commission to slay
Is
Minotaur.
this-
That will
that's
draw
in
out
HD.
their leader, whose name is Yuna. But it's sort of incumbent upon you and other players to provoke that
Make
event.
it happen.
Got it. Okay, so
Uh-oh.
provocation means essentially I need to kill 10 Minotaur, 10 basically Minotaurs, any type of Minotaur here.
And that's just for your commission. The activity map is actually a separate tally, a separate counter. We've tuned it down for the purpose of the live stream because there's just you here, but other players that had grabbed that commission from the node might be here as well helping, and that would progress that counter a lot more rapidly.
Oh, wow.
Good luck with the birds.
Yeah, the birds, man.
Gosh,
the
this guy
birds.
summoned a bunch of birds. Ah, got him. Cool. So the summoned creatures actually dissipate with the NPC that you kill.
Okay.
The
Correct.
The summoner.
Little summoner stuff going on
And
here.
the world team has
All
done
right.
a very, very good job with the setting up the encounters here, and the points of interest I think are looking great, and they feel great to play through. The encounters are difficult.
I
if you're
like
not
the
careful.
shield.
If you're
Oh,
pulling
well,
multiple
what do you
mobs,
summon now?
I don't know who would do such a thing,
I
but
know. Hey, that's why I have sleep.
that's true. Yeah.
Oh, levitating and then shooting the lightning.
That was a nice arc.
Thank you. It was beautiful.
God, I can't wait to stream this
Go
game.
away.
Play this game.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh god. Oh my
Bro,
god.
you're
No, no, no.
flying.
Not even his final form.
Let's sleep the other guy.
he was in the zone.
Well, that did not work. A quick release there. I might need to use some potions.
Yeah, the berserkers are really tough when they're on top of you like that.
It's almost like you should have a party,
Okay, hold on.
Steven.
Let's put some ice down in front of him. I'm out of mana. Oh no. Oh god.
Mana drain.
I'm totally out of mana.
You got to plan ahead when you're adventuring by yourself in Vera.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
And one thing you'll see about the commission board and how it generates its commissions, one thing is that all players in the node will see the same commissions. So there is
Okay.
a really good chance when you take one of these from the board that there will be many other players fighting alongside you. And that's how we get those like large activity map generation to start.
Well, that'll be much cooler than everybody trying to do the quest separately, if you know what I mean. Like where you would go get it and the other person just knocked it out. You show up, you knock it out. Like it's just this domino progression. This is going to be better. A little community questing.
Spawning events.
Yeah, that is. I mean, obviously these help to kind of, you know, move player traffic throughout the world because, as we said, nodes act as a hub, and one of the ways they direct player traffic is obviously through the commissions, the buy orders, you know, things that essentially are supplying that demand, right, of activity or action from the player. And then what the players choose to do is essentially the agency that's provided in helping to dictate how the world state will change. And I think
These
that's
guys are
obviously,
just hanging out.
questing is a kind of
Steven's gonna
standard
come
and
ruin their
staple,
day.
tried true method of core gameplay loop that players come to expect from MMOs, but what they haven't traditionally.
So they were talking about AI earlier, and I think at some point, maybe it's later in the stream or whatever, he talks about the front, you know, vision AI, and then maybe behind them they have like sound AI. This is a little troublesome. Like if you're walking in their camp, I think they should be bum rushing you.
Seen as the follow-up of how those
Like, dude should
actions
see
that
him
the
right
players
now, right?
participate in yield a response from the
You
environment.
got to
from
get
the
away
server,
from just I'm walking a little
from a
route.
historical identity that now can be kind of
But
seen.
the second guy,
And
is
we're going to see
alert.
that here,
It's
right?
pretty good.
Yeah, and that's not to
No,
say
he's just
that
walking off.
our quest content doesn't get much more complicated, especially when you start getting involved in story arcs at that level. But this is all sort of, you know, story arcs don't happen without nodes being built up, and nodes don't get built up without players doing commissions and grinding
There
experience
you
and
go.
things like that.
Now
So,
you're getting bum rushed.
all of this stuff does all play together and creates a very nice loop to like,
Oh,
unlocking
caught
the,
that lightning. Nice.
the bigger, more complicated adventuring content.
Oh, we got the summoned creatures coming again.
And
Ooh, salty.
story arcs as well, like, are also one of the potential predicates for side quests and things like this starting. So as you level up your node, and that begins more story arcs, even more content related to those stories as they progress in real time become available.
How many do I have so far? I have 7. Oh!
Okay, so you've sufficiently agitated the Minotaur, and they've brought out their leader, the Stormcaller, and he comes with a storm.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
very cool.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
This is pretty awesome.
Doubly so, because since you instigated this
Uh-oh.
event, which changed the weather,
Why
that
is
will
the
also
screen
now
grayed
influence
out?
spawns nearby. You could potentially be spawning, well, you are spawning, side quests that relate to the rain, changes in enemies that relate to the
It
rain,
says side quest when I hear side piece.
and that's just
Oh,
that's driven
okay.
on player action. So it is like a feedback loop in a way as well.
All right, very cool. So I see, obviously, the weather here, as you said, has changed. It is now raining, and the wind is picking up. And I also see that there is lightning that, looks a
spicy.
little hazardous.
Yes, that lightning will.
Oh,
hurt
I
you very
like
bad if it
it.
strikes you. Weather events and,
He's just
and
gonna
encounters
chill.
themselves can include
He's just gonna
hazards
chill
like that,
in the
that
lightning storm.
can
Okay.
appear and shake things up. It can also help too if you can kite enemies into the lightning strikes or whatever.
Very cool. Now, do I have a? I think I might need a little team for this. This seems to be a lot of stream.
There's quite a
views.
lot of them there.
I'm perched up on this hill. If you guys are nearby and want to join me,
Let me see if I can find you.
Looks
Yeah, I'm
kinda
sure you can help
dangerous.
you out.
Yeah. So you
I was
starting
gonna
that
say,
event
where's
would
the
have,
party?
like, we can see that from quite far away, which would be, if players weren't already here for the purposes of the commissions, they might be tempted by the event as well. We can invite you into our
Okay.
party here.
let me just gather some of these bushes. Yay!
There's some Minotaur just behind you, Tyler. Watch out. All right.
Wait, where's Tony? We need Tony.
He's right here.
Hey,
Oh, no, wait,
Tony.
where is he?
I'm here.
Oh, he just
Oh,
got
there
up.
you
I'm
go.
wearing a lot of armor. I'm not going into that lightning.
Oh god. Oh god.
I'm
Maybe we
not
can
your
kill one of the minotaurs
conductor.
with the tree.
Nice.
Looks like Una died to the lightning.
Oh my god, seriously?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Leroy, let's go. Kill him.
Is it Leroy Jenkins?
All right, so these are the Stormweavers that he was trying to kill. I see this guy over here.
Smack it.
I will call the lightning.
That's right.
Oh, I have a healer. That's nice.
I got your back.
There you go.
Oh, I need to get my back.
Oh no, wait.
Sorry about your back. I gotta get my back. Whoa! Woo!
He just guide them into the.
That lightning.
Oh, there's a supply chest.
Good.
Oh no.
Oh no,
Right,
you two
Tyler.
are going down. Wait, let me sleep him. Let me sleep him. I'm gonna sleep him.
Slumber.
Okay. All right, hold on. He's asleep. Let's see if we can get a bolt of lightning. We need some lightning.
Well,
Several of them have
Oh,
died
here we
to
go.
that as well.
Ah.
I'm ashes. I'm ashes and ashes. So
Oh, maybe we can get you res up.
Get you some Tesla
Hold on, I'm
What
juice.
is the healer?
I'm gonna keep him slept while you guys come back.
Nikolai would be
Wait for
proud.
it.
Oh yeah.
Sleeping
The
again.
Stormweavers are pretty hard to move.
Yeah, they are. Oh, you know what we should need to show off as well that we didn't show off last time? Oh, here we go. Oh! Oh my gosh!
Oh,
Somebody res me!
Dust.
Oh,
Just
man.
the sword guy.
Somebody
Like
get back here and
no
res me!
death scene,
Oh,
dude.
there
You
he
just-
goes! Who just got hit?
Got him.
Oh my. Yeah, you see that static
Oh
on the
no!
ground.
Okay, I
Go,
got
baby,
45
go.
seconds before I got to release.
That was you.
I
It's
got you.
fine.
Tyler's coming. Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
my. Ugh. Sorry. Oh yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right. Very cool. Very cool. Let me
Don't
grab
do
some
it
of my
again,
stuff.
Steven. Come on.
Great. I'll grab some of your stuff as well.
Yeah, I'll just help myself with some
Yeah,
of
help
that.
yourself.
Oh, thank you. Let me actually get this supply chest.
So this is just the reward for participating in the event. So even people that didn't have the side quest to do the
Okay.
event could still get rewards from participating.
Dim.
Oh, okay.
lit.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Okay.
And again, guys,
they're-
this is all a work in progress still, right? This
No,
is a
looks
very
good.
functional
Looks good.
implementation currently of the system, and there will be additional controls where you can split raid essentially, and each person can interact with the supply chest and get their reward from the event.
Okay. I knew somebody was going to
Yeah,
get all
look
Twitter
out.
pated
Oh, God.
about it.
look
Oh,
out!
you brought the
These
rabbits.
guys.
Oh no, not the rabbits.
Oh, they're
Oh,
the
let me
little
kill
guys
these
that
guys
were in
real
the
quick.
cage before. Okay.
I'm gonna sleep that battle priest while you guys murder the rabbits.
They're gone.
Murder the rabbit.
Okay. There we go. All right. Now we've cleared this little portion, but obviously the weather is still active, and
Yep.
that's because the zone has changed kind of to the activity that we have presented here.
Yep. So that means there's some
So
new
they
opportunities
should be
together,
killing
or
him
new
right
opportunities
now.
available for you.
You're
We
in
can,
our
we can
village,
leave you
dude.
to carry on turning your quest.
Yeah, it was an honor, by the way.
Yeah, no, just glad to be here. Thanks for the carry, Stephen.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem.
Yeah, definitely couldn't have done it without you.
Grab that Minotaur pigment.
No, you gotta have your
I see a
Minotaur
sudden
pigment.
scholar has also spawned. Oh, and I see the event is still going there. That's cool.
Ooh.
That is just
So I
to,
like the
collect
representation of
Let
the
me go
event.
over to this sudden
Like it.
scholar. Where is that at? So talk to me a little bit about this weather system, right? That's pretty cool that we had the environmental hazards that spawned, and that doesn't just pertain to the event, right? These types of weather systems, they can kind of be anywhere in the world.
Yes, so just like regular weather, they can also just spawn based on a number of like variables in the environment, like precipitation, things like that. So you can get weather naturally, but players can also affect it too, and it can be more than just the weather. Like there's Storks and side quests that can do things like placing an eternal night in an area, change the seasons and things like that. They can be quite stark. And all of those things, like we mentioned before, create new and different opportunities for what types of content you might find.
Oh no, I'm sorry, give me a second. Oh no.
Are you still in trouble, Steven? Do we need to help you again?
No, I'm doing fine.
Okay.
It'll be
I'm
fine.
doing fine.
I mean, I've only been turned to ashes
Take my
one
pigment and
time.
get out of
Okay,
here.
there we go. Talk to me a little bit about kind of these this area, the Minotaurs as a faction, and kind of what how the spawners can kind of change around the world to represent that player activity.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, it's especially prevalent with the Minotaur who are nomadic. These Minotaur in particular are interested in
Oh,
like
Wait a
spiritual
minute.
sites, so sites that have to do with like funerary rites and things like that of ancient aliens, and that ties a lot into the story of this
Who's that?
POI, which is called Titan's Ring. All that stuff gets developed in other side quests and Storks potentially that can come,
It's
can come
Luna,
around
the
because, like you
alchemist.
mentioned before,
Alright.
these aren't just necessarily Minotaur all the time. There are other things that can be happening here, depending on the state of the world.
Got it.
That
And I
can
see
provide
I
other
see
aspects of
I
the
see
story.
Luna here, for example. She spawned as a side quest because this rain event occurred.
Correct. Yes, she is one of the side quests that are attached to the Rain State.
Okay, cool.
of the
She wants
spawns
me
attached
to
to the Rain State.
defeat some mycelium along the
ooh, the
lonely
mycelium.
Oak
I'm
Creek,
growing some
I
mycelium
assume
right
is
over
up
there,
ahead.
actually. Some
It's
lions
yeah,
made.
right around the corner there from you.
Oh, okay, very cool. All right, let's take a look. I love the
Yeah.
stormy effect. I think obviously players have seen our season system in place.
We've seen your season system, but I saw at one point, Steven, and you need to unleash it. I saw the wind slider or the weather slider, and it had a hurricane setting all to one side. I need to see the hurricane.
But we haven't really seen a bit more of the weather events, and this looks great. I think Todd did a great job
Yeah, it's
on the kind
badass.
of rain
Good
effect
job,
here.
Todd.
Sounds good. I love the WPO on the trees and the wind. Very cool.
Yeah, the sound and environment really shine in this game. I really love the work that they're doing on it. So if you follow the river south, because you do still have that commission
Look
that
at
you
little
picked
baby
up very
mushrooms,
early
you
on
see
to go to
'em?
the Oakenbane Overlook, which is not too far from where you are. It's just south of you a little ways. And that is kind of, you wanted to check out Oakenbane anyways, and that will take you to a really nice place to
Leave
to
the
take a
little
look at
fungi
it.
alone.
All right. Let me...
So you can clear the mycelium along the way. I noticed you noticed you forgot to turn in your Una quest, but that's okay.
Which one?
Did you turn in your Stormcaller quest?
Oh, I think I didn't. Let me go. Where do
Yeah.
where do I turn that in at? Back at the.
Yeah, bring it back to Maho. It was
Okay,
right by the-
I'm sorry. I can do that.
I just want to make sure that you get your quest rewards. You know.
All right, let me grab it.
You can give Steven a little Sherpa.
Actually, you know what? I can
I need
I
a
can
Sherpa.
probably
At
Let
school
me,
every day.
let me just run back there real quick. I'm on my way. Or actually, can I complete it from here?
Side quests, no.
Okay, cool, that's a
Commissions,
great point.
commissions, you can't. Yeah. Side quests have to go back to either the place that the commission was or the side quest was given, or also potentially other places the side quest will specify
Interesting,
where you're supposed to
interesting.
bring your completion.
And a lot of times that's because they're leading you to another place.
A lot of
might hold
summoning going
something
on
else
this
related to that side quest you just completed.
Yeah,
Not all
so-
the time, but that's one of the intents.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, breadcrumbing is very important for these.
I'm going back to Maho. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna go see Maho.
Let's see, where is Maho?
He is right there on your left.
Oh, okay, sweet. Maho, my friend. Yuna is dead. Yes, that is very true. He did put up a little bit of a fight, but the weather actually was to his detriment as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to get the Stormcaller's recipe, additional Minotaur pigment, which is obviously a rare material component that's
Nice,
probably
nice.
used in crafting
It is
this.
specifically for crafting Minotaur objects, yeah.
Nice, awesome.
Nice.
Okay. So these different factions hold unique rewards that are delivered both through the questing as well as drop tables for the Minotaurs and other, local environments that contribute directly to crafting those types of items.
Yeah, the Minotaur pigments are actually pretty rare, so we just got a little bit lucky there, but the side quests are a nice way to get a guaranteed little injection of them. And yeah, there's stuff like that for all of the factions, especially ones that have like a set of crafting sets and things like that.
Cool. Very cool. All right, I am headed back this way, I believe. Is that right?
Yep.
Or did I...
Under the
Don't ask
you need
me,
to make your way
Steven.
back
I have
toward
the
that.
worst sense
I
of
think you can get
direction
there straight
ever.
from the way you were going, but
Oh, okay, cool. I'll go back this way.
you have the mycelium kills? I can't see.
Let me see here.
He's collected some
I
cultures.
don't think you have them yet.
I don't think so, although I see some myceliums down here now.
Yeah. I mentioned just
Let's
because
see
the overlook was
Not
fairly
the
close to where you just
babies. Look at the little guy.
Yes, that
He's like
very
a little
last
miniature
objective, yeah,
dachshund
you track
coming after you.
Oh my gosh. That was
Oh
unfortunate.
my god, I'm rooting for the mushrooms. No
Yeah,
offense,
the,
Steven. I'm rooting for the mushrooms.
NPC teams. I think they've done just an incredible job lately with the fights. I feel like
Dude, you should be afraid. You get
Very,
enough
very
those little
fun
guys
and
on you,
dynamic
you're
and
in
very-
trouble. In trouble for
Absolutely.
sure.
They're getting very close. Very good. Actually challenging, right? Now that we're having good representative kind of progression within the A2 world. Oh, that little dude disappeared.
It was attached to his parent that you destroyed.
Okay, let me see if I can avoid these guys. I'm getting some type of injury. They actually...
Yeah, they will poison you.
I'm gonna sit down here. Nope, not gonna sit down there. Let me move forward. Probably not gonna sit down there either. Oh no, we're doing the old traineroo. I don't know. I can't. I'm
This
pot
way.
committed. I am pot committed.
You're done.
It's happening.
You're done. Oh
It
yeah,
is
they're
happening.
gonna get you.
Where do I need to
They're
go?
on you.
Just turn around.
Turn
You are
around.
going-
Okay. All
It's
right.
all the
all
way
right.
back.
Overlook is like on those ruins, just to your right.
To the right, up there.
Yeah, that's the top of the room. So go left here.
Oh
and there's the path is to your
no!
left.
No!
Stephen, no.
What are we doing?
Pulling everybody
Break
off.
left.
Okay.
Go up the
I'm
stream.
gonna
to your
go up
left.
there. Oh god. Oh my god!
What is that?
Oh!
Oh
Are you
wow.
doing this?
No, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm really not. I swear.
Oh my
I
Good job,
swear.
General
I'm just trying to
Custer.
run.
Okay, and to the right here.
I'm just trying to. Here, let me put some.
Run. Run away!
Okay. Up
I
here.
didn't know we were going to see a mimic.
I did not know we were gonna see a mimic
Oh my
either.
God, look at the
Holy
mob.
smokes!
Look at the mob.
Ah. Can I go to the
Okay,
right?
the overlook. The overlook is to your
To the
right.
right,
I
to the
don't
right.
know if it's safe to even go up there with this many chasing you,
hold on,
but
hold on, hold Hold on. Let me just see if I can sleep them.
What is
okay, they're
this
fleeing.
chest with the arms
They're leashing
called?
it.
I can't even see it.
I wonder if I can kill this thing. Oh no, definitely cannot kill that thing.
yeah, it's level 20.
Okay, they're fleeing. They're fleeing. They're fleeing.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay. We did it! And
Good
we did it!
job.
Thank you!
Somehow, amazing, amazing. You survived that.
Woof.
Oh my god.
Okay, up the
Smells like a god
so
key.
the overlook is up on top of these ruins here. Yeah, you can climb right up the ruins.
Okay. So this is for the Oakenbane Overlook. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is also a little bit of a dangerous area.
Yep.
All right, let's go. Oh, can't go this way either. There's a little watch
Yeah.
dude.
Jeremy made sure that it's pretty hard to sneak around through here.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh! Hello, big fella.
See? Oh God.
Nice.
Oh God. Oh God.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh,
Guys,
no.
everybody look away.
Oh,
Eye muffs.
no.
Eye muffs.
Look away.
And we're good.
Nothing to
Let me
see
just pick
here.
up all these things that I died with. And that's good. And I normally don't want to do that, but I am trying to just... I didn't know that guy was going to spin to win right as I was trying to pass him.
That's a berserker for you. Just when you least expect it.
I know. And watch, I'm probably going to get him low here. And he's going to probably get some temp health. As usual. There's the temp health. Go.
But at
Got
least
him.
he spun to one that time and it didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
that was a nice shatter. Look at that.
Yeah.
That was a
that was
nice
great.
shatter. Thank you. Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate the additional support there. Right now, the stream is most definitely roasting me. Okay, so I'm assuming, since this is getting a view of Oakenbane, that I should be up here.
Yeah, it's also marked on your map and implied in the quest text that you're supposed to climb up here. But
Oh, okay. This is a beautiful view, actually.
yep. Nice.
We did it! We have discovered the location.
leveled up.
Oh, the node is there. Okay. Wow, look at this view. Oh my god, what is this?
So yeah, when nodes level up, they will create new content. New story arcs will start, and story arcs are very big, like big area-changing things that can happen.
Right, well, like we
Uh,
saw with Carfin.
Like we saw with Carfin. This is one for Oakenbane.
Oh my gosh, that is cool. Oh, I want to go down
And,
there and check it out.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty
That's
tough.
a long drop.
Yeah.
Ow.
Oh, okay, I made it.
Don't worry, he's got a button.
Oh, this
for
is
that.
awesome. Okay, so this area now has entered into a story
Leave the
arc.
little baby mushrooms alone.
Correct.
Come on.
And you're not right near where the quest givers would get you kind of started on the story for this, but they're not far. And yeah, these would be the quests involved in story arcs are a little bit more complicated than commission style and side quest style quests, but there's a whole big long chain to deal with the dark magic that you just saw settling in over this once sacred resting place for the
Nice.
skilled heroes.
I love it. This looks great. Well, this was quite a presentation. Obviously, it was really enjoyable to kind of go through, commissions and give the community an insight to Alpha 2, kind of what their daily activities are going to include, but more importantly, how those commissions change the state of the world around
That's the
you and
interesting
kick
part.
off
Dailies
these
we've seen.
almost domino-like
This is
effects
interesting.
with regards to events and side quests and the story arcs, where you constantly see a changing world around you. That is really the promise of Ashes. And as the world changes, you're a part of building what's to come next. So, Scott, Tony, Tyler, thank you very much for joining me, and thank you for all the hard work you guys have been doing. It's really paying off, and it's looking really, really fun.
Thanks for having us. It's great to
Awesome.
show it.
Love
Yeah,
it.
thank you so much.
Absolutely. And everyone, I'll see you guys back on stream real soon.
Oh,
Bye, everybody.
yeah.
Bye.
Oh, it's looking good. It's looking good. I like it. More of a functional update, but still beautiful. Can't hear you, Margaret.
Woo! We did it.
Yay!
I survived. I trained 100 mobs there
It's
at the end,
true.
but
Oh my God,
I was
dude.
so surprised and shocked whenever you actually were able to make it. So I was like, wow,
Yes.
they left you alone. I'm going to play the commission's video
love the
in the
town.
background
Oh my
whilst
God.
we go ahead and answer some questions because you all had some questions in chat for us. Ragnar and Roshan have been great about keeping an eye on. I think there's a watch party happening in Discord, so if you didn't know, you can always hang out with us over there or watch us live here on Twitch. And we are watching all of your questions and gathering the most frequent ones that are relevant to what we're broadcasting today. The first question here is there a limit to how many commissions I can take at one time from the board, or can I just grab them all?
Currently, the limit is set to 20. You can have 20 active commissions
a
at
lot.
a time. And
That's a
again,
lot.
this is obviously a very tunable thing, right? We can change that number just like that. So it's going to be part of Alpha 2 testing that we're going to see, how do players interact with the commission system?
Mhm.
How often are they keeping that 20 slots filled? How often are they deleting slots to make room for others, right? Those are things that we're
Yeah, I
going to
don't
want to
like the
watch and we're going to
clutter.
want to tune.
I'd
But
be
the
cool
idea
if they
of commissions
turned
is
it
that they
way
should be
down.
relatively easy and quick quests that people are doing, again, to help seed the world.
Yeah, and as you noticed, Stephen was able to complete those in the world. So once you complete them, you can actually open it up, get your reward right there. It's very different than
I
what
like
you saw with
that.
the
I
side
like
quest
that.
or a regular big story arc quest. There were a lot of people asking about
Yes.
story arcs. Yes, we have huge story arcs that are much bigger, broader ones, but those are very different, and you're going to specific areas, NPCs, and things of that sort.
Yeah, and just to be clear, when we talk about that 20 quests, that's for commissions specifically. That
Yeah.
does not bleed into side quests or into story arcs. Those are other systems of questing.
Yeah, so I don't see you wanting more than they're showing 8. I think 8's more than enough. I mean, are you going to want 8 of those and then 8 of these side quests? And I don't think so. I don't like keeping track of that much. So I think they're going to tune this thing way down.
That are unique to themselves.
The next question we have here is, can commissions be shared with friends? If I have one, can I just quickly share it with a friend? I think that goes for any quest. What is the shareability access
Interesting.
for questing?
Yeah, this is actually a very good point of feedback for the community to talk about what you like or dislike about sharing. Currently, it is implemented in such a way where you can share these quests with friends that excuse me, that you're in a party with.
Yes on sharing, but I think there needs to be a commitment, right? I think they're about to say you got to be in the party and everything. What I didn't like, I'll just point out one thing I did not like in Enshrouded was that if somebody went and found an NPC, everybody had it. And I know it's a totally different game, but just the concept of that, like I don't want somebody doing all the quests for me. So I think there has to be a mutual participation and a derivative of time spent together on that thing or in that area.
But there has been some discussion on the design team about sharing. And the idea is, obviously, it's great to be in a party. We want to incentivize people to be social with one another. And part of that social aspect is being able to share
But earn
what
your own
adventure
way.
you're on.
People like
In a party,
sharing the
yes.
quest, but not their cookies. Apparently, that's what the conversation is. But it seems like an overwhelming so far. But be sure to go under the forums and share that with us. We do have a feedback thread up there. I'll talk a little bit more about that as well. Our next question is, and I guess if the commissions are shareable, what about regular side quests or story arc quests? What is the stance on those things?
Currently, the idea is that all questing is shareable, right? So you're able to share
I
those
agree
things,
with
but
that in
that's something
general.
that might be tuned, obviously, as we kind of watch players test through Alpha 2.
All right.
Oh my God.
And then, can players kill important quests?
Yeah, like having an idea of how things are going to work in development and then seeing what all the savages do with it in Alpha 2. There's obviously going to be changes to everything.
NPCs. I believe we've answered this before, but people really wanted you to kill the Minotaur for some reason.
The
quest giver.
Ruthless.
The quest giver? No, the
No.
quest giver is not killable.
That's stupid.
Right? When there is an ability to kill an NPC, there should be a good reason for killing that NPC. And denying
Mhm.
content to other players is not
Yeah, it's just
necessarily a good
trash.
reason.
Just trash.
So the quest giver themselves are not killable.
We may
Man,
have
I
some
like that
story
full
arcs down
map.
the line where you're killing some well-known NPCs, but we got to build it up. We gotta make you either love them or hate them before you get to that point.
Yeah.
The next one here is what happens to existing quests in a player's journal if a node levels before they are completed?
Existing quests, so those are still those are still capable of being completed, right? Once you've adopted the quest, you're able to complete it regardless of whether or not the node levels. However, that is not true always. That is not always the case for certain types of, I believe, and I will double check on this afterwards, but I believe that is not always true for certain steps of the story arc. So there are some, and I guess technically, if a node gets destroyed, those quests would also not be capable of being turned in either.
All right. And then the next one, you did kind of showcase this in the game, but we can just address it because it was a common question. Can other players join in on another player's commission or side quest progress? You talked about that just now. You can share a quest. Does this require partying up? So does it, the element of this that we didn't quite answer is, do you have to be in a party to share things?
Yes, you do have to be in a party to share things.
Yeah, it makes
There's
sense.
no sharing on the fly, just a share radius. You run
What
by
if
people.
I
"Oh, you
Share
got the- you
radius.
got
pick
a
somebody
car."
and then reinvite somebody and then keep sharing with people?
No Oprah and Ashes.
As long as
I'm gonna
as
exploit
long as
it.
they're in
Oprah
their
and
party.
Ashes.
Yeah, I know. As long as they're in your party, you're gonna get a share marker. If you're sharing too much, you're gonna get flagged. No, I'm just
Okay.
kidding.
We'll log people who are sharing too much.
Communist.
We will be logging everything, so there will be an element of this that we can track and look into.
Of course, yeah.
The next question here is: do lightning abilities do bonus damage in the rain? So if
Yes. So
yeah.
we've talked about this in the past. It
Oh.
isn't something that has
Yes.
been implemented yet, but it is intended that certain weather effects will have certain types of
So I'm guessing rain's going to diminish fire, et cetera, et cetera.
modifying buffs to targets within the area of effect for that weather. So, for example, cold being susceptible to cold-like energy types, and electrical with regards to rain. Like, those are the intent of these weather systems. They add an additional layer of dynamic combat consideration within the area.
And then, was the lightning hazard only for the Stormweaver Minotaur event, or will that continue to happen during the weather?
Yes, as I mentioned in the video, the hazardous lightning is actually a combination of the weather event itself, which isn't unique just to this story arc, or excuse me, just to this event. As storm events move throughout the world, they will be accompanied by
These guys are going full tilt on some of these systems. They're going to have a dynamic weather system. I can see where you have a whole fleet going from continent to continent that disappears in said hurricane that I was asking to see demonstrated. Like, these are going to be noteworthy events. Oh, he said it before. Vera is a character.
types of hazardous environmental features such as lightning. And that's something that I think adds a little bit to the level design or the encounter design for the content.
All right. And that is the majority of the questions that we had. It seems like folks are, hey, these are quests. They understand how quests work. And it was cool to see kind of how one commission can kind of take you throughout the world and kind of bring you to explore and see more things. And you even saw a story arc get started there towards the end, a node leveling up because of the commissions.
I missed that part.
And
I'll
I
have
think
to
maybe
watch
we
that
didn't
again.
quite address that in the stream or in the video as prominently for folks to understand. But the commission boards, whenever they're taking those are quests that will help the node level up specifically.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
Nice,
So
nice.
let me talk a little bit more to that, so I explain in detail.
Yeah.
So what people saw there, that commission board, you saw 8 available, or I think it was 8 or 10 available commissions. Now, obviously, we're still nailing down how many of those we want to show at any given time. That might even be something that gets progressed as the node levels up. But you'll see that it changes every 30 minutes. And right now, the way it works is certain commissions have certain tiers of.
So you're looking at each server, reading each world, each region 48 times in a real day. 48 times. Okay, so think about the factor of change that could happen from when you're playing at 9 p.m. one night to midnight, because it's just whatever you're doing. And 12 hours, 24 more updates go through. Like, what happens if somebody really gets a group of people together, pushes hard on these things? You could come back and the node could be leveled up big time. The environment could be totally changed. New enemies are there you didn't count on. Man, they better have an app that kind of tells you what's going on in your hood. I'm just saying.
Of rarity. And as a player, whether you're a citizen or not, you can establish reputation within a node. And the way you establish that reputation is by completing buy orders, completing commissions and quests, and even completing caravan trips there or out of there. Different interactions that you would do with the node can yield you reputation within that particular node. And the more reputation you have with a node, you get greater access to higher tier type commissions, right? And so as you have access to those greater rare commissions, you'll get better rewards and have unique content that's available to you as a person who's privileged with that reputation. So you can adopt those higher rare commission types. Now, the commissions are constantly changing, and they're constantly seeing the state of the world in order to change and present what's available. But you'll see that as we went through this presentation, commissions are the initial seed. And as you move out into the environment, you're going to be presented with side quests that pop up. And those are also predicated on the state of the world. So for example, we saw a side quest that popped up due to the storm event. And the storm event was created because there was activity within the area that was brought there as a funnel of traffic from the commission board in the nearby node. And then once that
That's incredible. But again, I can't get over thinking, like, how are you going to keep tabs on the world, man? You're going to log back in and stuff is going to have gone sideways. You're going to be trying to piece together what in the hell did happen. This is going to be dynamic.
that node
It's going to be dynamic. Oops, hold on.
leveled up as a result of this additional experience being brought there, it kicked off a particular event. And so that's kind of like the full loop between how commissions move to side quests, how side quests create events, how events help to create story arcs, which are these larger, more intensive multi-day potential types of
Okay,
quest
multi-day
progression.
at least.
So this is obviously in a very nutshell format where we can kind of show you that full loop, but these are going to be kicking off left and right. I mean, all around you as you're within the world, and this is kind of your normal activity state.
Yeah, if you're kind of a quote casual player, and what I mean by that is me, like if you have actual responsibilities in life, I think we do need an app that like if I'm associated with a node, at least tell me when it progresses or some major things are going on in that area. I could see that being a necessity. I think Rust has that right now, so I don't see why they wouldn't.
Within Ashes of Creation, you're constantly finding these things to do, which will give you rewards like recipes we saw within this particular commission, certain unique material components that you can then craft with, obviously riches and gold that you can use through the glint to kind of convert and or trade with. All of that is within the progression loop.
All right. Thank you for expanding on that. And of
Yeah.
course, as with everything here, everything's a work in progress. We are still in alpha. We're moving towards our alpha 2 here
Oh, I
in
can't
quarter
wait.
3. So stay tuned for more
gotta get
information in
in.
regards to that.
I
But in the
should have bought
meantime,
in already.
If you have
I gotta
feedback
get
for us
in.
on the commissions preview that we showed you, please head on over to our forums and make sure that you share your feedback over there. The community team does an amazing job putting together these reports that we then share with the development team and go over with them. And if they have additional questions, you may see some other dev discussions that come up based on those topics. So definitely give us your feedback. And it doesn't have to be specifically about commissions. It's anything that you saw here that you want to give us feedback on. We are very much taking that all in and doing our best to adjust things as we move forward, especially as we get closer to Alpha 2. And with that, we're going to swap on over to our studio.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the studio is kicking off this year like crazy. We have got a lot of stuff going on. This is probably the most intensive year we have ever had in the history of the studio. Obviously, we are continuing to work diligently towards delivering on Alpha 2 in the third quarter of this
Oh,
year,
yeah.
as we announced. And hiring has been going great. Obviously, we talked a little bit last stream about the state of the industry. It continues to not be a great state for the industry. And again, our hearts go out to those individuals. But what I will say is this. I have been through a number of interviews over this month for people joining the team, and we are very close to passing the 200 number mark for the studio size. If we haven't already, I'm not sure.
Wow.
But
cool.
what I will say is something very interesting. I actually had two interviews over the course of this last 2 weeks, where they told me that they were laid off from their previous company, and that some of their friends who are not developers but are players that were excited about Ashes of Creation were pestering them to come and apply to us and look at the game.
Oh, I told
And
my
I
brother
thought,
to go
I
work for
said to
him.
them, hey, if you ever watch our live streams, we use our community to help evangelize the game, obviously, right? To
Yep.
help kind of spread the word about Ashes of Creation, about
Absolutely.
our studio. And what a great thing it was to see that come full circle. There are individuals out there who are in need, and you guys did a great job. Those of you who helped to support spreading the word for Ashes, spreading the word for Intrepid Studios on your
Ashes
social
community
media.
is going to be awesome.
Look at that. It came full circle. And we got some amazing candidates who joined the team over the course of this last month, who are going to be able now to bring their tremendous talent to the production of Ashes, which is, obviously what we're here to deliver on. So kudos to you guys in the community for helping to spread that word. Additionally, I would say that, we have got a lot on our plate. We've got a lot on our plate. We are approaching the end of this milestone with our last sprint for milestone 9, or excuse me, for milestone 8. And we've got a lot of planning ahead of us to deliver on our third quarter Alpha 2. And I think, Margaret, there's something you wanted to talk a little bit about, kind of on what to expect with regards to, the feature set that we're going to be launching Alpha 2 with, because we've been getting a lot of questions about that.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up in the Q&A, but we can bring it up here as well,
do it
because it
now,
is, pertinent to Alpha 2. But basically, we have a plan. So just stick with us. We'll share information with you guys as we go forward. But right now, we're not going to be. We don't want to get people all hyped for what's in Alpha 2 when we're not quite there, right? So we have a cadence in which we will be providing information.
Chill, Daddy.
Stay
Chill.
tuned. We'll have a guide for Alpha 2 with information on what you can expect,
We'll let you know.
features. You're going to be able to see what systems, what archetypes are going to be available, etc. at the start of Alpha 2. And then as we go forward throughout Alpha 2, because it is going to be a long,
if they overpromised
one
minuscule thing, you people would lose your damn minds.
For like a month and then we're down. So it will be a long-term thing that we're going to be doing for quite a bit, and we will be sharing updates throughout that. For the big updates, you'll see news posts for those with information on what systems and features and content is going to be available for you all. And then obviously for the smaller ones, we'll have smaller patch updates. But for all of the updates, we'll always give you guys patch notes for those. They'll just be displayed in different ways. So for the big ones, you'll see news posts. For the smaller ones, you will see those probably through the forums or whatever means we decide that we're going to be doing those in. Probably in a couple different places, but making sure that all of that information is available to you all as we move forward, especially
pretty
for
standard
our
stuff. Come on,
playtesters.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Stick
So
with
that's
us.
the update.
Yeah, and there will also be other things that we're sharing. I know the community team has a lot of really cool community programs that they want to run during Alpha 2 as well. So even if you're not part of Alpha 2 in the sense that you don't have a key or you're not able to really play yourself, there will be lots of ways that you can engage and watch. Obviously, people will be streaming. There's plenty of content that will be available to you. People will be making YouTube videos. We're going to be working with content creators.
I want to stream for you guys.
I know that content creators keep asking us when we're going to be sending out invitations.
Yeah, that was
we will
me.
share that information as well. Right now, we are in application phase for content creators. So if you are one,
I think I made her mad. She got back to me. I said, did you guys close it down? Because I can't find it on the website. And she was really sweet, but I think I was probably like the 8,000th person to ask her.
For you to apply for us. And we will be closing that application at some point in order to start sending out invites. And those invites will go out in groups. And then we will slowly get through everybody. But our goal is to respond to everybody. Stephen really wants us to, even the people who aren't able
she
to
did
make
respond
it into the
to me.
program,
She's a
want to give them
sweetheart.
reasons why. And primarily the reason's going to be why is that you're not making content. So really our goal is that you're making consistent content. We aren't looking for just only the big streamers. We are looking at anybody who's creating consistent quality content. So it doesn't just necessarily, if you only have 100 subscribers, that's not a big deal to us. It's really about the content and the consistency in which you're making your content.
Right.
So we don't want to discourage
I
anybody.
stream
We want
almost
everybody
every
to be
night.
able to help us make
Let's do it.
content and, create an amazing Alpha 2 experience for folks. And for those of you who didn't get part of it because our pre-order packs are down, we have been doing giveaways. For our Valentine's Day, we did a huge campaign.
Yeah,
that
you didn't
was a
select
bunch of, giveaways for Alpha 2. So stay tuned for those things. If you're not following us on social, we're at Ashes of Creation in all the places. We share that information for you all.
Oh, I stalk
So,
you guys on social like
next
nobody's
one,
business.
make sure
Narc
you
would be
keep your eyes
impressed.
out. But we did get a lot of people involved with that. So thank you for doing that. We had a good laugh reading your guys' Valentine's Day goodies.
By the way, I just want to give a shout out.
Yes.
Can we give a shout out for this?
Yeah, go for it.
We had a glorious fan who I can't recall the username now, but maybe you can find out why I'm talking about this.
Yeah.
Sent in this awesome mask, and for those of you who might recall, if anybody in chat knows where this mask came from, does anybody know in chat where this mask came from? This mask came off of one of the NPCs, our shaman goblin. And this individual recreated it. What was it? Do you have their name? Do you know their name?
I was
Mark?
waiting
think we
for
did a post.
Peter to get back to me.
Oh,
yeah,
Peter,
on
got it. And it is really, really cool.
Pockets art.
Pockets art.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my gosh.
they had posted on the forums their creation process, and they had messaged me on Discord and said, "Hey, I really want to send this to Steven because." And if you guys noticed, we had a clip of Steven saying he's like, because I was like, I would wear that mask. I hope that we can make that be a player one too. So when you kill the shaman, maybe you have a chance to get one or a named one. And I was like, I would wear that, and Steven's like, I would wear that in real life. And we clipped to him putting it on. I got John to get some pictures of Steven wearing it. So
That was great. So
it was really cool. Honestly, we are so thankful for all of you. It is really, really cool to see the amazing community creations that you guys make for us. I mean, we have so many that every Friday we share a new fan art, right? Like that is so cool for us to be able to experience as developers. We share that with all of our development team as well. And they always add comments and their thoughts on it. And it's just always exciting to see something that we create getting like fan art for it. That's so
Nice.
cool.
That is creative.
Tell me to put it on. I'm sorry. I'll put it on for the Q&A.
That's
All
right,
right.
Steven.
And with that, we're going to do character art if we want to switch to that.
Okay, I'll put it on for the art segment
Okay.
if I can.
Uh-oh, she disappeared again. Man, they had so many sound issues. I kind of want to stick around for the question and answer. I'm hoping I think this happened a couple of times. Like I said, I was driving home during the update. There we go.
Sorry, apologies for that. I fixed it in the one scene. I didn't fix it in this one. This is our
Okay,
Pyre
can you hear me?
starting gear.
She's using OBS.
It
Always
actually
fun.
Doesn't
fits
look-
you pretty well. I think it just needs to be like the eyes need to be down a little more.
There you go.
There you go. How about
There you
that?
go. So you can actually see.
Better.
Okay. We've been
It's going to be like, I think Game of Thrones did that with what was it? A garment or something where no, I'm not even going to say it. All right.
showing some of the
glasses on.
starting gear as we're moving forward. But obviously, if you guys have thoughts and feedback, feel free to share them with us. But this
No,
is
the
kind
glasses
of
will not work,
what
buddy.
We're working towards. Next up, we've got some Bard goodies. Last time we kind of ended the stream with a little Bard teaser. Obviously, it was more of a joke, not like our final Bard animations. And
It was
songs.
badass. It was
It was a good
badass.
joke.
It was a joke, but we hope that you all enjoyed it. But we are working towards Bard goodness. So we have a lot of instruments being created. Animations for those instruments are going to be created. We have abilities and things of that
By the
sort.
way, we had a lot of people in the community that not only liked the meme, but were really interested in Bard. Bard is not traditionally a class that gets a lot of interest, I think, population wise. Yeah, oh yeah. I don't think it's like I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
even
always
say it's in
been
the
like
top 3 of the
underpowered.
games that offer Bard as a class to play. I would say it's definitely not in the top 3 most like played classes in those games.
Yeah, I would say it's not in the top 3, but in a few of the games that I have played in the past, they have been pretty prevalent, primarily because song weaving and
Oh,
buffs and things like
sure.
that are required. So almost every raid has needed them, and I think that that is awesome.
I just think they never come close to like, tank rangers, mages, like those usually are the population tilt.
Yeah, for sure. I don't
Yeah.
disagree with that.
Yeah.
But hopefully, we make it so cool that more people want to play bards.
Right, I can't see
And
how
I
much
know
it
that
so
they're
much.
working hard towards that. But lots of instruments are recreating it. If there's instruments that you're interested in, I'm sure we'll make a social post about it, asking you what kind of bard instruments you'd like to see. And perhaps maybe you'll see some new instruments being created that you like. The next one here is an arcane mind set of armor.
Okay.
Obviously, you'll see some NPCs with this, maybe player usability at some
It's
point.
always interesting to
Oh,
see
yeah.
the different stages this artwork goes through.
Did we show
And
off the Carphan yet?
Concept,
that's
and
the
then
I'm saving
this,
that
and
one for
then
last.
animation.
Oh, okay. Good call. Good call.
But it is next up. So the next one is the Carfin set. And this is the Carfin Light set. So there will be other sets that are created. But
These are the Carfin robes.
yes, the
Ooh,
robes.
badassery.
So
Look
we'll
at
first
that.
show the images.
Ooh,
Look
and
at that model.
that's
And I think
nice.
there's a sketch here. Yeah, right here. This is like the concept. And then you can see how it
Oh yeah,
is
that
being
was a
created.
concept.
Nice.
I think Lloyd did the concept. Who did the modeling? Was that
I didn't put them in
Manny
this
Keith?
this week was a chaos for me. So I actually
Oh.
didn't get the art. And we had some VPN stuff with VPNs being up and down. So I was kind of rushing for the art stuff.
So this is a set of robes that you can acquire through progression within the Tower of Carfin.
I think Manny worked on it is what they're saying.
Nice.
So thank you,
Awesome.
Manny.
Well done, Manny.
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. And then we have the turntable for it as well. So you can see it in all its 3D glory.
Turn
And
it
by
right
the way, there's
round,
one thing
right
there that I
round.
want to make sure, you guys in the community, one of the promises we made early on, because we incorporate, as you guys know, cosmetics as a part of our monetization
Mhm.
strategy. Obviously, no pay to win, no pay to convenience, but we do offer a cosmetic marketplace and intend to for launch.
Mhm.
This is the quality of in-game cosmetics,
Yeah.
gear that you can acquire.
Love the philosophy.
Compare that to
Love
the
it.
cosmetics that you've seen modeled, and now you can understand how we aim to have parity between those two things. A lot of games that I've been a player of,
The cosmetics look better. sometimes,
exactly,
yeah.
they weight
Margaret's
your
real OG. I remember
they
this
incentivize
part.
you to
She's like,
acquire
I
the
want you to know I
cosmetics because they
earned it,
always look
bitches.
way better than what's achievable in game. This is our attempt to create parity in that regard. So
And
you
this is
guys
the
can
light
you guys
set,
can
so
give
the
us your
robes.
feedback on that. Right, you'll see the plate probably next month. I think I just saw it completed.
Ooh, yay.
Yes, yeah, you'll see the Carfin plate set as well.
Yeah, so
God
there will
damn,
be
they are
medium and
busy,
heavy armor
dude.
as well. So stay tuned for more of that goodness. But yeah, we do plan on doing cosmetics still, but of course, in-game stuff should be really awesome. It should be something that when you achieve it, people are look at you and go, "Oh, you completed the
That's
Carpet
right.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, you worked
that's
hard for
right.
that." We understand. I think, especially Steven and I, we're huge competitive gamers. We
Yes.
want to be able to show off the work that we've done. We want that for you guys
Oh,
as
I
well.
hated it. I hated it when nothing you did in game looked anywhere near the person that swiped. Now, not to say I couldn't swipe. I swiped all day long, but I didn't like the fact that the achievement level of reward was not on par with the swipe reward. That was unfortunate.
I still wore the
Swipe,
achievement stuff
swipe.
because I want people to know. I want you to know.
I told you. I told
what I
you.
did.
She
But
wants
that's
to
the art update
flex.
for this one, and stay tuned for more. We don't want to spoil everything for you guys, but we do want to keep you informed.
Somebody
I
said
will-
whale. Somebody said whale noises.
Yep, that
That's
is
so good.
definitely the case.
It's so good.
But hey, those people keep the lights on sometimes. We do need the income coming in from that stuff, but we also want it to be, making sure
Yeah.
that you
I
guys have
was
a cool
funding-
gameplay experience.
I was funding development studios long before I started one.
It's really funny because I've worked at a few different companies,
no.
and there
I
was
remember
like
this.
people who had spent in the millions
Who
on
does that?
cosmetics, and it's just amazing to me that I'm just like,
Who does that? I'm right here. You could donate to me. You don't need to buy cosmetics.
Why? Like, you're not even wearing in-game armor
Stop.
ever at that point. Like, you just have you
Oh,
purchased
no.
everything.
Millions.
Of course, we have some questions from you guys on the forums, and this will be wrapping us up today. If you don't know, we always put up a Q&A before the stream. So
Who
we
are
tell you
those
the
people?
topic, we give you the Q&A. Be sure to make sure that you fill that out. That's another way for you to ensure
Oh
that
my
your question
God,
gets
money and
answered live here on the
intelligence are
stream.
not linked.
But this first one is from Talents, and they want to know about armor appearance. Speaking of, because that's a great tangent.
Nice.
We
I
have,
am a
since
great
a single
tangent.
armor set will look
I
different
knew
on
I was
each
on her
race,
mind.
how will we have large varieties of in-game achievable gear for each race if we have to make 9 different looks for each set?
Well, our approach to that's funny that we have this question.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Well, the approach for that is to create a modular piece set for armor creation. And the way we achieve that is by 2 steps. So on the modeling side, each race has these geo sets basically
Yeah,
where
okay.
you're creating pieces of the armor for heavy plate armor, for medium, for robes, and you get to grab those modular pieces and mix and match as design makes a request for a particular set to the art teams. So design comes along and they say, hey, we have a theme for a set that we want to create. So let's use Carfin in that example. And that theme from design's standpoint is going to include color. It's going to include materials. It's going to have an etymology for the set, right? To kind of give a background so that they can
Okay.
incorporate certain types of attachments, whatever they want to include on the art side. Then the character team says, okay, let's take our base sets of Geo and let's mix and match those pieces to create the Carfin set. And then we're going to do a material pass on it. And then we're going to do a color pass on it. And that way we have a lot of essentially pieces of the puzzle to create these many different unique sets. Now, we can also deform pieces across from race to race. So even if we create unique geo on a per race basis, we can grab the pauldron from the human set and put it onto the Vec.
You can tell they're being really smart about their workload. Like all these systems, you want as many dials that it's easier to create all this variety and all this complexity. Like you don't want to have to reinvent the wheel every single time. And I'm thinking of a particular stream where they went back and they were talking about building design. I'm going to have to go find that one. It was really good, but they've thought about this all the way through. Like they're leveraging their work every step of the way.
Representation. So, and the end game there is that we have a particular set, for example, Carfin, and that Carfin is being communicating the theme. And when you don the armor for the Carfin set, you've acquired the Carfin set and you put it on, it is going to look Vec if you're a Vec. It is going to look Kalar if you're a Kalar, but it is still going to have the identity and the theme of the Carfin set.
All right. And then our next question is about commissions, which is from AdAstra224 on the forums. Will
Again?
commissions include tasks or quests
AdAstra,
that are
you're all
reflective
over it.
of node type, of the node type that are issued in, or the node's
I think
affiliation with
AdAstra was a
specific
plant
social
today.
Organization?
Wow.
Great questions.
We have a
And
very
Bug in the
this,
office. No, it's
Yeah,
so
like,
funny. Like
that
just
was the
talking
question
about
you
this 2 days
selected
ago.
ahead of time. And now
One of Chris is over there on an alt.
I know Chris is like, let me ask this question. Yes, the answer is yes. Nodes will
The answer is
reflect the
yes.
theming that the node has, and that theming can be influenced by things such as the identity of the node from a node type perspective, what social organizations, what religious organizations, even what policies the node has chosen to enact. Those will all be represented in the types of commissions that the node has to pull
the
from.
complexity. Oh my
And
God.
so in that way, you are solidifying the identity
How
of
much
that
writing
node
have
and
they
again,
done?
the dynamic state of the world that gets represented.
And
Crazy,
then our next
crazy,
one is from
over the
Plastic
top.
Lemons. Don't eat those. Social reputation is the topic. Will there be a way to put notes on characters so we can track who we like or dislike or who we don't want to affiliate
No,
ourselves
it's called
with?
the internet.
That is currently not an intended system that's facilitated within the game. Nothing's stopping, obviously, players from keeping their own notes of individuals with whom they want
Your hit
to
list.
remember. Yeah, your hit list, or even your good list,
Damn
right?
right.
Like I remember a particular occasion back in a game that I played where I was in a tower. It was called Kruma Tower. And at a very low level, I made friends with a particular prophet who would give me buffs anytime I would come in. And I remembered who that prophet was. And later I saw in Shout, this was probably like months later, and I moved obviously away from Kruma Tower. Months later, I saw in Shout this prophet was getting accosted by other players within an area called the Dungeon Valley Cave. And I went to her aid because
gotta
of
Google
that
that shit.
reputation, that relationship that she had built, right? That's the unique aspect of MMOs. And that spun off a whole war that lasted years on that server.
Good
Just
job.
because
Good
I went
job.
there to help her. But
Did you
obviously,
go there, or did you bring
uh,
like a posse
well,
with
I
you?
brought my guild with me, and then we helped her, and that caused a war that
There
lasted a
you
long
go.
time.
That's
Yes.
I don't know what game he's
But no,
talking
we won't
about.
plan to have in-game tools to kind
I
of
don't know.
provide that tracking. Instead, you will be expected to track that yourselves.
Do your own dirty work,
All
damn
right.
it.
And the next one is from Snow Elf about the character creator access. Will players who do not have Alpha 2 access be able to test the character creator?
At some point, yes, in the future,
Eh.
there will be an
I just want
ability
Alpha
for
2
players
access.
who
I don't
do
even
have an
care about
account with
that.
Ashes of Creation, but may not have access to Alpha 2. We intend to provide character creator access,
Low
but
fruit.
that will likely be closer to beta or launch.
Yeah. For now, it's going to focus on the people who have purchased
Who cares that you
access
created
and
a
are helping us
creator, a
test
character
things,
that you're
so
not going to play
I'll
for
keep that in
years?
mind.
Like,
But we do
eh.
have a plan of putting the character creator out early for our Alpha 2 users. So do stay tuned
Yes.
for information.
For Alpha 2,
regarding
for
that.
when it means something, hell
In
yeah.
next
fact,
up,
that testing might be starting very soon.
Yes.
Oh,
Always keep an eye on your
sign me
emails. Make sure
up.
that we don't get put in your spam box, so that if you get
I
an
need
email
to
from
check
us,
that.
you know what's
Holy
up.
crap.
But we'll also
Oh.
share, in other places to make sure people know that we have sent out emails. Daredevil 117 is asking about harvesting bosses. Can only one gathering artisan harvest resources from a single boss, or can multiple different artisans harvest different parts from a boss for different resources? For example, a lumberjack gets a special wood from Tumok's tree weapon, while an herbalist gathers the flowers from that same tree weapon, etc.
Too much.
So we
That's
don't
the one
have
I
the
couldn't
concept
remember.
of like harvesting from bosses. NPCs follow a reward table format where those reward tables are global. They're not unique to particular players, right? So once the NPC is vanquished, you have access to the loot container that is its corpse, and it has a static value of either materials or items that get dropped, and whatever the party loot settings are that you might be a part of, or if you're a solo player, you will be able to recover those things.
All right. Next up, we have from Ace1234 wanting to know about character stories. What is your vision for the overall player story
Nope, they
when
haven't sent me
comparing
my
the
invite
more
yet.
emergent personal stories versus the more curated story arcs?
I'm sorry. Say that one last time. One more time.
What is your vision for the overall player story when comparing the more emergent personal stories versus the more curated story arcs?
Yeah, absolutely. So all the narrative keeps in mind, what the meta narrative is of the server, right? And that's something, we have generally kept relatively close to the chest. It's something that we don't want to spoil, leading up to our testers participating in Alpha 2 and Beta and eventually launch.
I think they're going to pull some
It is,
switcheroo
however,
on some of those stories too.
True that there is a meta narrative that exists within Ashes. There is a purpose why you are on Vera again, and the supporting narrative structures are there to reinforce what that meta narrative is.
Okay.
So players will have insight to
Meta,
that
meta,
as
meta,
they,
meta.
travel and adventure within the world.
All right. And Roni Scaponi wants to know about summoner stats.
Roni Scaponi.
Will summoners want to build different stats when playing as either a DPS, healer, or tank role?
Yeah.
Yes, that it is. It is important that summoners understand the role they're trying to hybridize into, as that decision might influence the types of stats they want to spec for.
All right. And then Gizmo wants to know about quest drops. Low drop rates for quest items can sometimes feel bad. How do you plan on creating quests with lower drop rates? When
Better
Ashes of
question.
Creation
All
may
right.
have a system that incorporates dynamic and reactive environment and monster population balance.
So how do we incorporate on,
So
or
let's
how
say
do
you
we
have a
intend?
quest and
Mhm.
it requires some drops off of Minotaurs,
Yes.
and it is a rarer drop rate or low drop rate. How are we going to handle those situations, or do we intend for those in those type of situations?
We intend for those types of situations, right? I mean, when you think about the reward loop,
Someone in
there's
chat's just
this.
like, just farm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no. When you think about those reward loops, um, scarcity is obviously what can drive the excitement or the dopamine response when that success is
Yeah,
had.
it's got to be value.
If
It
something is
requires
easily
scarcity.
attained, then the importance of attaining it is obviously diminished.
Mm-hmm.
So where it makes sense for us to ensure that certain drop rates are not menial, right? We don't want people to, farm just for the sake of farming, so to speak.
You should be getting rewarded for that, right?
Exactly right. There is when you're spending time, you are advancing in some vertical, some progression path, right?
Ooh, that lightning.
However, that is again to reinforce the fact that there will be very rare drop table items, right? And we want to ensure
I
that
want those
scarcity is
items.
preserved, so the importance of attaining the thing feels good.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, that's why
Yeah,
we
you
farm
don't want
raid
everybody
bosses,
to
right?
have
We
it.
want to get all
That's
the
right.
loot off the loot table, get everybody geared up in your guild.
Yeah.
That is
And
pretty.
that actually, it touches something tangential actually to that as well, which
More
is
tangent talk.
that adventuring is not easy in Ashes. Our intent when we
It shouldn't be.
when we actually, focus on balance, which we haven't really done too much yet, but we will here in the very, very near future. The intent is that encounters are difficult. The world is dangerous. It is not a cakewalk to progress within Ashes. And that fact reinforces when you get the scarce drop that you will feel a difference in your performance or in that environment, right?
Nice.
So naturally, Ashes is
It's
going
gonna
to
have actual
gravitate towards
value.
a
I mean,
more
come on.
difficult gameplay loop when it comes to adventuring and combat.
Yeah, and you want that fat loot so that it's easier. Well, for that marker. The next question here, our penultimate, is from Akabear, and it is about caravan operators. These next two are caravan related. Will there be a limit on the number of times a caravan can change hands if successfully taken over during a journey from one
Oh,
node
the
to
next
another?
question's the one I remember.
No,
Okay.
there is there is no limit. A caravan can be destroyed. That caravan can be destroyed. The caravan thereafter could be destroyed. The driver of the caravan can be killed and commandeered and done as many times as is permitted through the situation that is player driven.
Okay.
All right. And our last one here is from Grundle about mules or caravans.
Excellent
How
question.
will mules work with caravans when considering risk versus reward? What would be the incentive to run multiple player protected caravans if similar results could be achieved by each individual player riding a mule instead?
Sure.
Well, you're not riding the mule.
The trade-off between the mule capacity and the caravan is really what is at risk, right? You are not able to satisfy the type of cargo capacity that's available within a caravan system because we have
They have
certain
to up the
crate
caravan.
sizes, of which only the smallest crate size can be leveraged with a mule. That is something
They'll balance this.
that
It'll be good.
obviously is the inherent risk between the two systems. The reward, however, is that you are now no longer subject to the opt-in event, but instead are governed by our flagging system as a protective measure, although it is not entirely protective because players can choose to still kill you
Be dickheads.
with risk of corruption in exchange for the reward of taking your shit or taking your stuff.
Taking your shit. I thought I was being all right. Oh, I love
That
you.
is going to be it for Q&A. Thank you all for submitting your questions. We hope that you like the answers. If you don't, give us your feedback on that too. We are always, taking in that your thoughts on everything. And of course, you can head on over to our forums, forums.ashesofcreation.com, and submit your feedback over there. We did a caravan video for those because we have a lot of caravan questions right there. If you didn't know, we did a caravan PvP live stream last time. You can check out
That's
all the
good.
content
That's good.
over
They've
our
done
YouTube
2 of
channel
them.
over there. Follow us in all the places. We are Ashes of Creation everywhere. And if you head on over to our, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we also have one additional update, which I believe that you guys released something on the community side, which was our minimum spec and recommended spec.
Oh, yeah. Our KB article for our min and rec spec have been updated for Alpha 2 specifically. So that will change as we get closer to betas and launches, and you will see that progressively change. But that information is available to you guys if you head on over to our support page and check that out, support.ashesofcreation.com. And that has, if you type in min rec spec,
Yeah, I think I'm good.
sure, maybe someone can post it in the chat too, so you have the link
I
really
hope
easily.
I'm good.
But that is what we are aiming for Alpha 2, so you can kind of preliminarily prepare yourself for that if you are part of the Alpha 2 playtesting.
Yes, and I just want to give a quick shout out to our team, specifically Tech Art, Environment, and our engineering teams. They are overhauling performance-related work over the course of this last month, as well as next month and the month thereafter in preparation for Alpha 2. You guys should see some significant gains in the demonstrations that we continue to provide leading up to Alpha 2 with regards to that work. And in addition, Chris, Gabe, John on the environment side are undergoing some significant lighting changes, which are going to impact and influence the visuals of the game in a very
A
significant
lot of people
way.
had feelings about lighting today.
Yes, I just want you guys to know that when we talk about how things are still a work in progress, this particular endeavor is
everything.
likely going to have the most impact on the visuals of the game as they continue to work on lighting. That's going to be a switch that we flip when it's ready, minus the pun, I apologize, for how the world looks and their work that they're doing. So just want to keep you guys abreast of that. It is exciting times when it comes to that work.
Yeah, it's super exciting. We are very excited for that. And of course, if you head on over to our YouTube channel on our Ashes of Creation for this February development update, if you leave a comment, subscribe to us, make sure that your subscription is live for us, because you can subscribe privately, which makes it so that we can't see that you're
weird.
subscribed.
Yeah.
And we will spotlight you as a potential comment, and you may see your comment at the beginning of our stream as
Yeah,
we
like
do
Ad
all of our
Astra all the
videos.
way through.
And of course, we want to do a thank you very much to all of you for joining us. We appreciate your time that you spend with us every month, going through the update, and of course, your time giving us feedback and all of that. We really, really appreciate it. And as Stephen said, sharing our job application and positions, we really, really, it does actually affect us when you share those things out because other developers see those things. So if you
Cool.
if you see a position that's available that you think someone who maybe has just recently got laid off, or maybe they just still have their job, but you think that they would
We'll
be
get
amazing
'em.
assets to
Yeah.
us sharing that information. We'll have some more jobs coming up on our site as
Snipe.
well. So stay tuned for those as we progress throughout the year. And of course, Scott, Tony, and Tyler for joining Stephen in game. We know that it's stressful being on. They're not on camera, but like when you're being streamed, it is a stressful situation. Not every developer is, ready for that.
They
but
love
always
to
kill
see
it.
the reaction and the
Yeah.
love
They're
from the
all
community.
extroverts. What are you
The
talking
glowing
about?
response. That's what we live for.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome, but I know it can also be some people get nervous about it. Steven's like, I'm not nervous.
Oh no, I'm definitely.
I know, me and you chat before, we're always like, all right, I'm nervous about this one. But I feel like today I was not very nervous.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah. But of course, and Stephen, for your time, we appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us. We hope that you stay healthy and safe, and we will see you all next month for another exciting development update.
Bye, everyone.
Right on, right on. All right, let's cut this back here. Final thoughts on this live update stream. I don't have any super hot takes other than I like the game card look of the dailies, I guess is what we'll call them. I mean, that's what chat was calling them. But more importantly, I love how it impacts the greater story. It impacts your local environment, your node, progression, weather. Like, what the hell? We have lightning that takes you, like, you're done. You're snuffed. You're done. It's all work in development, and I don't want to be too damn picky about it, but like that thing where he was just walking by him right there, and dude's walking back there and doesn't have a problem with the fact that there's a battle. They talked early in the stream about perception areas, and somebody asked the question, like, is it going to be, I'm not using their exact words, but it's going to be more realistic, because that's not realistic right there, where you're going to have a battle with one of them and the other one's still walking his patrol. So I think that's one thing they'll fine tune for sure. I would definitely like to see it, because I hate that in some games where I shoot the guy on the right here, and the guy on the left's like, hey, what's up? Oh, you done with him yet? Okay, now I'll walk up. So yeah, that's one thing to fix for sure. One thing to fix, but everything's positive. It's all good. It's all good. I'm going to keep bothering them about getting into the creator program, because the whole reason I even started to stream, everybody asks, how long you been streaming? Since about Christmas. Why'd you start streaming? Ashes of Creation. Couldn't take it anymore. I want to play the game. I want to share the game. It's an amazing game. If you sat all the way through this, I appreciate you. Throw some comments down here. Tell me what I missed in this update. Just give me your thoughts. Till the next one. Peace.